Oh, give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Let's go. Yo, we got the we got the first stations in the yeah. We're going today, boys. Hey, boys. You want to be able to step up, oh yeah, boys. Can you take the what am I drinking? Am I drinking Red Bear or am I drinking Red Bull? See this right here? Let's get
Oh,
it, boys. Let's get it, girls. How we doing today, D-Gents?
my man, dude. I'm not gonna lie, dude. At the beginning, I was trying to say, what impression are you doing? You sound like this like really big political guy that I'm not gonna say because we'll get us shadow banned off of YouTube forever. But ultimately, man, I definitely do agree. We stay bullish. We ain't bearish. We drink Red Bulls to get this thing going, my man. So overall, man, how you feel about the markets and just this week in general?
Market's crazy today. We got some shake up with the S&P. So my mind is like, oh, okay, that's like markets and uncertainty all mixing up at once. So yeah, liking that drama there. I'm also really liking some things that are happening in the degenerate life and in the degenerate world. It was so crazy. I was just reading something. I was just reading someone's post on LinkedIn about blockchains, and they were trying to tell me that L2s are dead.
Oh my god.
You know what they were saying?
What are they
That
saying?
their whole argument was, well, L2s are dead because they need network activity. They were built for transaction speeds. And I was like, man, thinking in my head, bro, you have no idea how any of this stuff works, do you? You don't realize that those chains are built for meme coins. They're built for onboarding, and they are built for AI infrastructure. Ooh, it's a great time to be alive in this market, researched up and teed up. Let's get it today. It's a great day. Market doing what I want, man. Even also, something else I read, there's going to be bearish markets and bull markets. What do you know? But we stay bullish at the verse. Why? Because we're spreading across all of these L2s that people are crapping on LinkedIn, trying to sound smart. Look, they're not smart. If you're here, you're smart. And I'm calling it now. The verse is going to be coming for the top spot in cryptocurrency. You guys have said it before. We're micro influencers. Yes, we are underrated. Yes. But you know why? It takes intelligence to understand what we're talking about. So if you're here today, welcome to the Genius Crew. Welcome to the smart boys, the buff nerds. We know you're getting after it. We know you're like minded. There's very few of us. So we got to get our mission going. We got to talk about these markets, and we can't be here forever today. So I'm shutting up. Kris, you're taking over.
Appreciate it, my man. Awesome intro. Sorry, cut in the middle of it, but regardless, man, great points. And before we get into the pDAI and Atropa stuff, I already see some comments about the thumbnail, which is pretty funny because that's the only way that's the best way to get you guys in here. When it comes to these L2s, and I'm gonna keep it very simple, really, really simple. If you got a bunch of VC funds paying millions to billions of dollars, you honestly think they're not going to get their money back? Like, in what dimension do you think that is going to be a possibility? When I see money going into these projects, there's always something going to be popping off. And I'm glad you brought up layer twos because we're going to show you guys what's going on and the exact point we've been making about these meme coins on these layer twos because something big happened and none of you guys are talking about it. No one in the mainstream media crypto is talking about it, but we here on the Verse crypto channel is talking about it. So actually, yeah, let's just start off with that and then we'll get into the pDAI and the Atropa stuff.
Yes, sir.
So
hey, because you're in here, smash that like button.
Yep. So here's the one thing I want to bring up, and shout out to Trey because he's always finding his stuff. I'm pretty sure Scroll Network. That's like your bread and butter, dude. Like you got this thing down to a T.
I love Scroll, just the nerds.
So here's what they're doing. They're doing these community badges, aka they're doing these sponsorships for games and meme coins and stuff to get people interested in the Scroll Network. One of their community badges they gave a top tier link to is actually Scrolly. Scrolly the map. This is their version of sponsoring a meme coin for their blockchain. And this just came out today. We've been telling you guys about this. There's always a number one meme coin for each chain. Scroll Network has $1.8 billion of VC funding. It's simple mathematics, guys. So the reason why I'm putting this out there is because this is a project we've been talking about for how long? 2 months, 3 months? Would you say?
Yeah, no, it's been literally since February.
Okay, yeah. So, February, yeah. So 5 months.
Yeah,
So we've been
yeah.
talking about this thing for about 5 months. And now it's actually coming to fruition. They're telling you the game plan. Get people hyped up on meme coins and games so you come and use their network, and then they're going to launch their token, and then that's when a lot of these VC funds are going to get their money. That's the theory. Now, on top of that, Scroll also had a partnership. Let's see if I have the here. Let me find that partnership. Hopefully it's here.
This was yesterday.
It was yesterday?
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure it was yesterday.
All right. I'm gonna try to look.
That might be it right there. That's it.
Right here. So they're actually partner with a new stable coin called Athena Labs. Now, Athena Labs is basically trying to create a algorithmic stable coin. So you take Ethereum, back it up, mint new coins. It's similar to what we see with MakerDAO and what we're going to see with pDAI, which we're going to talk about in a second. And the reason why this is extremely important is also on top of Scroll being one of the most slept on networks, this Athena Labs protocol could be potentially another full sender in the stablecoin market. If you guys haven't really figured this out yet, there's a reoccurring theme. With pDAI and Atropa, it's all about stablecoin. With MakerDAO, it's all about stablecoin. With Ondo Finance, it's all about stablecoins. Even with Blast Chain, they're making their own stablecoin. Guys, everybody is trying to create a stablecoin that's used by a majority of just consumers and anyone in the market. There's a competition, and Scroll just pledged, like, basically partner up with Athena because it's going to be main competitor to USDC, USDT, MakerDAO, even pDAI, and the stuff going on Blast. Trent, any thoughts on this stuff?
This is the biggest arms race of the entire lifetime ever. Going to space, all that crap, whatever you believe about, all that. None of that does not hold a flame to what you're about to see happen in this world and with these coins and the coins of the stable variety. So when we talk to you guys about stable coins, man, you guys should listen. You guys should follow along, and you should then do your own research, because I'm telling you, man, there is a real war going on, and it is to create this first true decentralized stablecoin, because that means truly decentralized money.
Exactly. And whichever ecosystem can figure that out on top of adding a privacy layer, they're going to win. So that's what you got looking for, a decentralized stablecoin and a privacy layer, and that equals victory. And that's why I personally think Richard Hart's doing with all of his stuff. So, yep, that is it for that. Like I said, anybody who's fading these L2s, don't get me wrong, some of them might not do well, but there are going to be ones that do really well. Scroll, $1.8 billion of funding. It's pretty simple. It's asking like if water's wet at this point. So yeah, man. So yeah, definitely need to move into the next section and talk about the good stuff. pDAI and Atropa.
Dude, let's go, because we got lots of haters in here right now. Basically, what we have in here right now is, I would call them sad boys. They're sad boys because their bags are down and they're not where they want them to be. Of course, you're going to be a sad boy if your bag's not where you want it to be. It means you didn't play the game right, and it means that you're going to have to figure something out or reapproach things. So, if you shot yourself in the foot, don't be upset. Tune in and listen, and maybe you can get some of the little chipper joy off of people who did do their bags right if you were listening to us over plus 12 months ago about what the play for pDAI, Atropa, and this whole ecosystem is. So let's dive right into it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's funny. Everyone Everyone's getting all upset and flustered about it. And just FYI, guys, we don't think pDAI is actually dying. We're using it as clickbait. So you got clickbaited. Congratulations.
We clickbait almost every single thumbnail. If you haven't realized, thank you.
Yeah, that's the only way. That's the only way people are going to view your live streams. Is you have to do that. You can't put up like a nice thumbnail with sunshine and rainbows because nobody cares. So here's when right around when we got into pDAI, it was August 2nd, 2023. And this was very close to what was going on with the Tropa. You guys see this big old red candle right here? This was Sami fudding. He comes out, talks about what was going on, fuds this thing into the ground without even looking at any information. And he was just being an emotional beta male. And then this thing goes all the way up and starts running. And then next thing you know, actually, wait, let me go back. Let me zoom in a little bit. I think this was the Sami FUD, and then this was the dollar cost crypto FUD. So yeah, they both were being emotional beta males. And then it started going up parabolic. And then we get to right about here. So the main point I'm trying to get across is if you guys just look at pDAI just from this chart and from this perspective, you're probably sitting here and you're just like, oh, wow, it looks like it basically went down 74%. Now, if you guys use what Richard Hart does in his live streams or what a lot of these other guys do, and you just click a log, it'll show you the price appreciation of pDAI. And overall, it's actually not too bad as most people are making it out to be. So in my opinion, the reason why pDAI is not doing well is because Rat Pulse isn't doing well. It's pretty simple. Yep. If Rat Pulse doesn't do well, none of your tokens on this chain is going to do well. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Since common sense ain't common. Get here. Let me think of a token, and this is no particular order. So time. Shout out to KG, great guy. And this is not me. So we come over here and just take a look at this token. Oh my gosh, look, it's down 80%. Give me another token that you can think of on top of your head. Let's do Pulsex. Pulsex. Everybody knows Pulsex, right? So if I come over here to Pulsex and we just take a look at the price of Pulsex, I guarantee you it's going to be down like 80 or 90%. Here, let's just do this original one since everybody wants to be so literal. Oh my gosh, down 80%. So the reason why the price isn't doing so well is because Pulsechain isn't running. There's no new buyers coming into the ecosystem. Now, based off of this and how we think Pulsechain is going to do, this is going to be your best opportunity to dive in right now. Here it is. This is going to be your best opportunity to dive in. And so, in my opinion, it's just another buying opportunity because once we start to see this market fully take off, it's going to do its thing. As for price appreciation, I want to make this really, really clear because I was about to give out a bunch of alpha and I was going to go into webs and stuff, but we got a bunch of haters. I'm not going to talk about it, dude. Like, screw that. I can keep this stuff in my noggin because here's the deal. When it comes to what we do with the Atropa ecosystem and these LPs, me and Trent, we were talking about this stuff like a week after everybody figured out what was going on, like the original pDAI OGs. Like we put it all together. We made plans. We got into Teddy Bear before most of you guys. We got into TSFI. We got into
legal down,
BFF. We got into all these projects, and now we set up a massive amount of LPs within this ecosystem, so that every time I'm saying everybody on this live stream, every time you do a transaction on Pulsechain, it actually pays us now because we have so many LPs that have thick bags and are basically set and were created at the bottom of Pulsechain. We're sitting pretty comfortable right now. So on top of that, we don't even need to talk about Pulsechain at all. It doesn't benefit us. We're on Solana, we're on Base, we're on other blockchains. You think we're gonna sit here and just cry about the price chart? No, we're gonna go where the money's at. That's what we've been doing.
Exactly, bro. Like, why do I wear a Pulsechain hat in all the streams?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
every stream is not about Pulsechain. It's because I understand Pulsechain. We get it. And if you don't and you're hating and you're in here, like we don't have time for you anymore. So this is that stream where we get to come down on you for being a loser. That's literally what you're doing. You come in here, you're being a loser. We just told you exactly how we came in and multiplied our initial sacrifice bags by way more than you probably ever could dream in your life. So don't talk to us like we're stupid by coming in here and talking about this, man. We're coming to try to help benefit you. That's what we've done for the life of our channel. We don't steal bags in the way that other people have. Okay, we have existed to bring education into this space because there's such a lack of it. There's such a disconnect from developer to influencer. Okay, so you are in the middle, and if you don't want to like it, then don't watch it. Don't comment your negative stuff because we tried to come here today to tell you about the good things with it. So, Kris, you spit whatever alpha you want to about it because we got about 12 minutes left in this segment, and we'll move right on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. If anyone just starts starting stuff in the chat or whatever, dude, just ban them. I'm like, I'm done with that stuff. Like, I don't want them to watch this live stream. So, all right. So
We'll be broke, dude.
yeah, exactly. All right. So basically, here's what's going on with Pulsechain, and I'm gonna need to pull up. I'm gonna need to do a drawing real quick, and then we can get into the theory and the stuff you gotta do. So just give me 1 second. Okay. And then let me do the stop screen share. Bring this over. Can you still see me?
Yes, but I don't see the screen share.
Okay, let me bring up the screen share. Present. All right. So here's what's going on with Pulsechain. So we got the chart right here, and it's basically doing like this double top. Came up right here, came down, boom, 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 and then came up right here, and then it's coming down. And then now it's sitting right here, and it's bottoming out, and it's slowly coming back, slowly coming back. And in theory, what's probably going to happen is sooner or later, it's going to trace sideways and then go parabolic. And we can look at charts in a second. Now, why is this price chart important? The reason why this is important is when it comes to LPs and getting into the ecosystem, the best time to buy altcoins is going to be right here. It's going to be at the bottom right here and at the bottom right here. So the reason why I'm saying that is because if you guys want to make positions on coins, this is the time to do it. And this is where we're sitting at right now in Pulsechain. So the real question is, what are the best moves to make right now? So if you guys are going for like an investment strategy, like I said, not financial advice, when it comes to any altcoins, I'd recommend if Pulsechain is your home, I would probably shoot for somewhere between 3 to 5 altcoins on Pulsechain. And that could be pDAI, PTGC, time, whatever. 3 to 5. Because if you go more than 5 coins, you're going to get yourself all crazy. You're going to be all over the place. That's what you should shoot for. Now, that's just holding liquid coins right off the bat. That's option number 1. And then option number 2, LPs. Now, LPs are going to be extremely important. And this gets into the Atropa ecosystem that we talked about. And so the idea is a lot of Atropa is paired up with pDAI. And then once volume runs through the chain, it's going to raise the price floor. And as the price floor continues to raise, it's going to bring up the price of pDAI. And that's why pDAI is doing so well right now. And it's up astronomically from when we first got in. So the reason why this is important, because we're at this second circle right here. And what's really great about this opportunity is not only can you go and buy altcoins, you can also get into LPs. And so let's just say from a hypothetical sense, let's say I wanted to get, what's a good PRC20 token? We'll say P-Link. So let's say I want to get like the copied over version of P-Link and say I started an LP at this local Pulsechain bottom, and I want to pair it up with Rat Pulse. So, you take about $50 to P-Link, take about $50 Rat Pulse, and let's say you have about 50 P-Link, and let's say you have about 50 wrap pulse tokens. That's probably not the ratio, but it's just easier to understand. Now, as we continue to go up on this price chart, what's going to happen is a bunch of bots are going to come into Pulsechain, and we're going to see a lot of money move into Pulsechain, and it's going to start to flood money through a lot of these LPs. Now, what that's going to do is you're going to get an increase in trading volume. And with that increase in trading volumes, when you create a liquidity pair, it's actually going to increase the amount of tokens you have on both sides. So you have P-Link and then Wrap Pulse. So when you start at the bottom, and we'll say we go 2 months into the future, so we'll say 2 months, and you start having trades going through here, there's a good chance that now you have 100 P-Link, and then you'll have 100 Wrap Pulse. So basically, by starting LPs at this local bottom, you're going to start at the bottom because all these tokens are going to appreciate in price. And with these LPs, not only are you going to be gaining money, you're going to get more tokens in your favorite projects, and you're going to make a massive amount of passive income. And that's what basically we've been doing with a lot of these PRC20s. So this is called using the LP strategy, and this is going to be V2 LPs. Now, with these liquidity pairs, for those guys who don't know, I'm trying to make it less technical. Basically, what you do is you take 2 tokens and you combine them together into PulseX or a decentralized exchange, so that if anybody wants to come in and trade for token A or token B, you can use that as a medium of exchange. Now, what's great about being a liquidity provider is when you provide liquidity, you can put your tokens up, you can come back and get your tokens back. But also, anytime you have swaps through those pairs, you're earning fees off of those trades, and that is passive income. And what's extremely powerful about LPs is if you start at the local bottom, you can actually astronomically increase your position in both tokens. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. You're telling me with LPs, I can actually increase the token amount and I can earn fees. And
Exactly.
if I get in at the local bottom, that's going to be the most lucrative time to do something. So you're telling me that the very bottom of the chart is actually important? Like being at the rock bottom is actually not the worst thing that could be happening?
Yep. Not the worst thing. It's opportunity, my man. Huge
Interesting.
opportunity. Huge
Interesting. I
opportunity.
love it. I love it, bro. Thank you for this nice chart.
Yes, sir. So basically, the main point I'm trying to get across is you're going to have a bunch of LPs, and we have all these tokens on Pulsechain, and this is your opportunity to get in. Now, the reason why I bring up LPs is because this gets into pDAI, Atropa, and everything else going on. Now, before I get into that stuff, the one thing I want to say is if you guys are interested in getting to some of these LPs, we're going to start to see a lot of these PRC20s do its thing. So you have P-Link, then you have pDAI, you have P Wrap BTC, and the list goes on. And so, in my opinion, with a token like Wrap Pulse that has a lot of volume driving through it, and one of these PRC20s, you have the opportunity to make a lot of passive income, and it's right now here at the local bottom. So overall, man, that's really good. That's the first bit. So we got 38 you guys in here. You guys can do me a favor, smash that like button, repost this live stream all across Twitter. And you want to do it? You look like you're about to say something.
What?
Are you say something?
No. I'm
No.
supporting this
Okay.
time right here.
Gotcha. Tweet out the live stream, and if we get 100 likes on this video, I'll give you guys a little present. I'll give you guys our pick for ZK Sync for the #1 meme coin. So 100 likes. I want 100 likes. 100 likes. I'll give you guys our pick for ZK Sync. And we haven't even talked about on Twitter. There's a lot of plays we do not talk about. So
we got so close to 100 likes on the last video too, so they might be able to get that one, dude. It might be able to peel it from us. But hey, it's probably, the reason why there's 38 to 42 people in here right now is probably because we haven't talked about Bitcoin, Joe Biden, or Kamala Harris. And so I just wanted to take this time to just say Kamala is my president.
Oh my God.
Shout out to all the something about, no, she had some phrase that they were saying. She said over and over. It doesn't even make any sense. I was gonna say that phrase, but oh well. Nevertheless, I love Joe Biden. He's my grandpa.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So here's what we got to talk about what's going on right now. So I gave you guys the LP breakdown. You can pair up two tokens, earn passive income, allow trading between both of them. And now we have the Atropa ecosystem. This is where things get extremely powerful because keep in mind, without turning this into a PhD level class, all these tokens go through pDAI. And the reason why I know pDAI isn't going to totally collapse off the face of the earth like all the haters are saying is because there's so much monetary value in the Atropa ecosystem. And since pDAI is the door into that, it's going to back the price of pDAI, and it's also going to support price appreciation with Pulsechain pumps. Not a lot of people really understand how Hart's law works. They like to talk about it because Richard Hart says it on every live stream, but I would say about 88% people don't know what it is, and they still will never figure it out. And it is what it is. But the main point I'm trying to get across is when that Pulsechain pump comes in, a lot of tokens are going to go up. So just looking at this chart right now, you have plays like Teddy Bear. Can you see it clearly on your end?
I can see it clearly. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So you have Teddy Bear. You got things like Legal, Readings, Hegemony, Scissors, Mantissa, Teddy Bear, and the whole 9 yards. Now, if you guys want to be part of the ecosystem, one cool way you can do to get into it is when I was talking about those LPs, you can look at the thickest LPs between each of these tokens and create your own pairing because you know volume's going to go across that, and that's an easy way to make passive income. So, for example, I would buy Teddy Bear, I would get Legal, pair it up into a liquidity pair, and then just allow trading in between these tokens, and that's how you can also make passive income. That is one option you have. You can do that with Atropa and pDAI. You can do that with Teddy Bear and LOL. So, you know, the list goes on. And so ultimately, like I said, guys, this is going to be a great opportunity to get into this ecosystem. The price appreciation behind it has been absolutely astronomical and, you know, overall really, really bullish. Now, let's just talk about pDAI one more time. I'll give you guys a full price analysis after the haters came in and started showing love and support. So where are we sitting at pDAI? And if you guys were here on Monday, we're at a local right here, could potentially be a local bottom. And the reason why I know that is because this chart right here looks like Rat Pulse to a T. If you go over and just look at the Rat Pulse chart, there's a nice little local bottom right there. And now it's coming back up, and then bouncing up. So this is a head and shoulders. And from that right there, we can do a nice little price target, which gives us a price target of about 0.004191. Now, the other thing I also want to throw out there is we do have a lot of resistance, and that's why I have a bunch of these lines coming up. So we'll probably come up here to 3, bounce off, come up here, bounce off. So how I see the future price of DAI performing is it's probably going to come up to about right here, bounce up, boom, hit that target, come back down, and then we're going to have another big head and shoulders right here. And that's probably going to give us a target going to the all-time highs and close to it. So overall, man, I think the thing I'm trying to get across is pDAI is not dead. The Atropa ecosystem is still alive and well, and it's still looking really good. Now, the other thing I want to throw out here, which I can't hinder enough, versus Rat Pulse. Now, this is a key to understanding why pDAI has been so powerful. So me and Trey got in right here, right? Right here. This is where we got in. Boom. Versus Rat Pulse, pDAI from where we got in is up 87x right now. 87x from its all-time high versus Rat Pulse. It is up 235x if you would have put in $1,000 when we talked about pDAI, $1,000 at its all-time high, you would be sitting at almost $235,000. $1,000. And then right now, that same $1,000 would be worth $88,000. Just think about that for a second.
I could think about it all night.
You put in $1,000 and it's still up six figures. And so if that thing, and if Pulsechain were to rip and Heart's Law comes into play, that $1,000 is going to be worth a lot more money. That's also another great indicator of why I think this thing is still doing its thing and overall across the board. So yeah, man. So overall, man, you know, the pDAI chart looks really good. Some bearish targets. If this isn't the local bottom, we might have to come down here and touch 0.0015. Otherwise, our next look is we're going to come up here to 0.0028, either bounce off of that or come back down, then bounce off of it again. And then we're going to shoot for 0.035 and then 0.004. Now, let me take a look at the MACD. I don't know if I did this last time. I can't remember. I might have. So
Yeah,
on the
you did on this, yeah.
I did. Okay. So on the MACD, yeah. So it looks like the buyers are definitely in control on the hourly. Let's look at the 4 hourly. Oh yeah, we're definitely going to run because we just crossed on the sell pressure right here on the 4 hourly, and now we're coming back up. So yeah, we're definitely gonna have a little bit of a pDAI run coming across.
And I would say the next 11 days, or after the next 11 days, is going to be bullish. It's going to be bullish on the ETH side, and it's going to trickle over to Pulsechain. There was 10 to 11 days from the BTC ETF, so that's what you could really think about when it comes to narrative.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So cool. Now, I think the other thing I want to throw out here is, oh yeah, well, any final thoughts on pDAI before we get into the new ecosystem?
You just hop right along, my friend.
Okay, cool. All right. So if you guys have been paying attention to what's going on with pDAI and Atropa, you guys have probably seen that there's going to be a new ecosystem being built right now. And so a new token was actually launched by, I think it was Maria. Yeah, someone in the Maria team. And I'm gonna show you guys the chart real quick. Let's see. I want to make sure this is the right one before I pull it up. So there's this new token. It's called Affection. And so basically with Affection, it's actually building out another liquidity web, from my understanding, on top of Atropa and pDAI. And so currently, I believe there's about, I think it's 100 million tokens that have been minted out. And the plan is to mint out 1 billion tokens max and then cap it off right there. And so once it's capped off, there what's going to be set up is another liquidity web on top of it. And based on what I was researching with this token, this thing was also launched close to the Pulsechain bottom as well. So now not only do you have another Atropa ecosystem, you're actually seeing the build out of an Affection ecosystem. As for how to navigate this entire ecosystem, my understanding is there's got to be more tokens being minted out. So I like, none of this is financial advice, but I would tread carefully getting in until all those tokens have been minted out and the web has been built. But what's really great is this is your second opportunity to get into Atropa at the beginning, like we talked about. Because when we were talking about pDAI and Atropa, everybody was calling us scammers and saying all this stuff. The thing exploded. When we got into PTGC, everybody said we were scammers. That exploded. When we got to A1A, everybody said we were scammers, and that exploded. And there was also tokens we get into that I'll never mention on this live stream that absolutely crushed it and exploded, but we're not going to talk about those. So, main point I'm trying to get across. Affection is basically building out a liquidity web that's going to be similar to what we see with Mantiza, pDAI, Atropa, and all these other tokens. And this is going to be another opportunity to not only get in on the ground floor, but also to see how this is going to impact pDAI. Now, I'm really curious to see what the LPs are because I haven't really been doing too much research on it. This was just passed along to me by a couple other people. But it seems like they're going to have a bunch of new tokens that, man, I don't know half of these tokens, dude. This is crazy. Do they have a Twitter? Huh. I did see the docs here. Yeah, so here over at the Fection docs, this is also another thing. This actually has the contract address. It also has directions to where you can find the contracts to all these tokens that are being launched out onto the blockchain. And all right, yeah, there's a lot of bad words on here. I'm not trying to get us banned off of off of YouTube, but I think you guys get the point. And the main point with Affection is it's a token. It's created to be part of the Dysnomia ecosystem. Now, the Dysnomia ecosystem, it's supposed to be like a gaming component layer 2 to what's being built on top of Pulsechain. I'm not sure if this thing's going to be like an actual layer 2, like a layer 2, like base chain layer 2, or if this is a layer 2 in a sense that Atropa's layer 2, where you have tokens and an ecosystem being built on top of Pulsechain. I'm not really sure, but Maria or James Osborne, whatever you want to call him, he's talking about building something like this with a gaming component, privacy, decentralizing the web, and then, from my understanding, a random number generator, which I'm not going to get into because that's a lot of math and science. So overall, man, it's actually pretty crazy. Any thoughts on it, man?
Oh, dude, we're getting into like infinity and quantum mechanics and all sorts of crazy stuff here that you could go on and on. But I like to see that there's more build outs happening that are plugging back in. I mean, that's basically what this thing has become. This pDAI itself is almost like this outlet that all these things can begin to plug into, and it seems infinite to me. And I think when people really begin to capture that and understand that essence, they'll really realize the power of Pulsechain and how it actually basically puts power back into the hands of the people that use it. So it's very, very powerful seeing all this come together.
Yeah. And I really like what they're building with Affection because it's showing you how to do swaps like on the actual blockchain. Like this is like one without the GUI, which is pretty crazy because not many people know how to do this, which is pretty insane. I think one of these days I'll probably show you how to do it, but it's like a whole different level. Usually you just go through a website and click a bunch of buttons and get it. This is like old school swapping, which is crazy. So yeah, man, I really like Affection. I think it's really great. I think it's going to be a great ecosystem to dive into and whatnot. So cool. Now, I think that's all. Yeah. So the next thing I also want to throw out here before we get into price charts, because we briefly talked about pDAI, Atropa, and all that stuff, and across the whole 9 yards. There are 2 projects that I will say that did launch at the bottom of Pulsechain. One of them we did personally get into. Now, if you guys have been part of the PTGC ecosystem, you probably heard of this token called UFO. Now, UFO basically created a new approach to tokenomics where they take LPs between UFO, I think it was UFO, PTGC, Pulse, PulseX, and Hex, pair them up together. And anytime there's a buy and sell transaction on top of it, there's a fee that's sent to LP providers. And when you provide LP, you actually earn Wrap Pulse. And let me just show you, actually. Might be easier to show you. So over here, you basically can pair up your UFO, PTGC, and you can do it with pDAI, Pulse, PulseX, Inc., Hex, and the whole 9 yards. And within each of these pools, you can actually earn passive income in UFO, and this is a reflection token. So their goal is to create a thick LP between all these tokens, and they did it at the bottom, which is key. Now, if I come over here to the UFO contract, I'll show you guys all of the price amounts on each of these LPs. You have UFO Wrap Pulse, 536,000. UFO Hex, 228,000. UFO PulseX, 314,000. PTGC, 287,000. And that's in liquidity, which is absolutely crazy. So if that were to do a 10x, that's over $2 million liquidity, $3 million liquidity, $2 million in liquidity, $5 million in liquidity. And you know what? You want to know what's crazy about UFO?
Talk to me, bro. Besides what you're already saying,
It feeds into PTGC, and guess what PTGC feeds into?
hmm. Does it have anything to do with pDAI?
pDAI. Yes, yes. This thing,
Yeah.
this thing was launched at the bottom, paired up with pDAI, paired up with PTGC, which is also paired up with pDAI. What do you think is going to happen when Pulsechain pumps?
This thing's gonna go parabolic, dude. It has jet boosters on it, all over the place. It's gonna
Yeah,
be it's gonna compete on Pulsechain. It's gonna be real sendy.
yeah,
Dude, it's gonna compete for that top spot.
yeah, yeah. So $288,000 worth of liquidity between UFO and pDAI. Now let's just look at PTGC. So now that this is feeding PTGC, I know PTGC has one DAI. Here we go. $165,000 of liquidity between PTGC and pDAI. Dude, this thing's going to absolutely explode, and nobody's really figured it out. Here. Wait. There's more. Enki, a project that we talked about. Shout out to our homie. He launched this. Enki. This thing launched right at the bottom, sitting at about. Here, let me get the top. I think it's this one. There you go. All right. So, Enki, another project. This one's just a reflection token. It pays you Bear, Atropa. I think it's in the description here. I can't remember all this stuff. Bear, PTGC, Alien, pDAI, and then you also get some Rat BTC. So it's an airdrop token and also burns. Now, this thing has LPs, and let's look at these LPs real quick. And this was launched at the bottom, which is critical to understanding this. This thing has LPs between Atropa, UFO, Rat BTC, and PTGC, all launched at the bottom of Pulsechain. So when this ecosystem's full sends, Inky's going to explode, UFO is going to explode, PTG is going to explode, and they all tie back to pDAI. Let me go back here. And Atropa, what does Atropa tie back to?
pDAI, it's all web. It's just web, dude. It's just literally it's one circuit and all of these things plugging into it.
Yes, people are building on top of pDAI. It is this. It's a similar concept to Titan X, except Titan X revolves around a burn. You see what I'm saying? Everybody's building on top of it because there's speculation that it will go to $1. And in doing so, we are starting to see a vibrant ecosystem that's going to absolutely explode. And none of these idiots figured it out. It is so crazy that we talk about this and nobody wants to listen. So it is what it is.
The infrastructure, people don't recognize. They think when you think of an ecosystem being built out, you're trying to conceptualize all those components. What they don't really understand is that the blockchain needs to be put in place, and then the money needs to be put there, but it needs to be secured in the proper way, just as so we don't experience any of these FTX leaks. That's not even the ecosystem at this point. The ecosystem is dysnomia. The ecosystem is the new privacy change. This is the ecosystem that's going to be built out. When he says it's going to be something vibrant, it has an underlying infrastructure of real liquidity webbed all throughout, which is virtually indestructible at this point, giving it a base to play and move into the future of artificial intelligence development, the development of DAOs. This is the future, folks. And if you're not on this wave, you got to get on it, because that's what Pulsechain is. It's total decentralization.
Right. So here's the way to really put this into it and into perspective, right? So we have pDAI, right? And then we got Atropa, and then this is going to be the Atropa ecosystem. And this entire ecosystem right here, this is worth about 40 million right here, 40 mil. Yeah, and then after that, we got to move on to charts. Yeah, 45. All right, so Atropa is 40 million, right? Now PTGC comes over here, and why did it do that? Ah, man, I hate this. All right, now PTGC is over here. It plugs into your Tropa and pDAI. From my understanding, I think this is right around 10 million. I need to double check the liquidity. Now, what's crazy is we have Alien. Alien is another ecosystem being built on top of PTGC. Alien plugs into Enki right here. Here's Enki right here, which also plugs into PTGC, which also plugs into pDAI, which also plugs into Atropa. Another reason why I think Enki is actually pretty special because it's like sitting at the center of all this, right? But wait, there's more. A1A
Beautiful.
is built on top of Tropa and pDAI. Crazy, right? Oh, wait. There's another token I think you guys forgot about. Access. I saw he had, well, I don't know if it was A1A, but I'm pretty sure they had some sort of pairing between pDAI or Tropa. They're built into this ecosystem. All of it drives through pDAI. So the reason why I'm putting this out here is because you guys can do all this crazy technical analysis behind pDAI, and it's going to be very difficult because most of that liquidity is burnt liquidity, and it's very hard to track. But if you guys just look at the mechanics, this is the one time you got to zoom out and look at this ecosystem. You have, I would say, 50 developers building on top of pDAI, and the goal is to build products that appreciate really quickly alongside pDAI. In my opinion, this is going to be one of the craziest ecosystems. There's probably going to be like a movie behind all of this because of how crazy this is. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go and you try to explain this to your family about what you do when you sit in your room all day at your house and you're just like, and you're trying to explain, like, yeah, I'm in this token called pDAI that's burnt liquidity with a Tropa. And then also there's this other token called PTGC that produces this reflection that's been gone up by 500x. Everybody, bro, what are you talking about? Like, they're not going to know what you're saying. You see what I'm saying? So the point I'm trying to get across is it comes down to fundamentals. Look at the ecosystem being built. Once Pulsechain does its thing, it's going to absolutely appreciate. Does that all make sense?
It does make sense, but you know what? To even answer this, to even dig in deeper, let's answer one question here, because I know this guy right here. He's chomping at the bit. He's struggling right now. I think he's bearish on Pulsechain. So here's his question. We're trying to switch his mood around a little bit.
So, what will be the catalyst to make Pulsechain eco go parabolic?
And you can say what you'd like, and I've got some of my own thoughts. And
wait, bring it up. I didn't read it.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
The catalyst for Pulsechain. The chat's a little bit better, so I'll put this out there. It's going to be when Ethereum hits its top, because regardless of what all these guys want to say, Richard has been selling the top of Ethereum and then buying up Hex. That's why Hex did so well. And he's going to do it with Pulsechain as well. So the catalyst that's going to really pump Pulsechain to a whole new level, it's going to be based on the price performance of Ethereum. So I would probably say ETH to 10K. And then as for the SEC dropping charges, that's a lot of speculation. But when that happens, Pulsechain will easily do a 5 to 6x. And then from there, it's a matter of whether or not Richard comes out and puts out marketing. So I think the big one is going to be ETH to 10K. What do you think?
I mean, that's exactly what I was going to say. Basically, I don't even want to go into the depth that I want to go into about it. I think watch Richard. If you're in his ecosystem, you should be watching Richard. You should be watching his moves. I can't think of another human in the world that if you think about what Richard might have been doing this bear market with his money, and you could probably not even come up with a good answer in your mind as to how much money this man even made while everyone was bearish for 3 years. So for us to sit here and even imagine or try to think that we know how Richard, how much he has, and we have no idea. This thing, he said on live streams before, this thing could do more than a 10,000x. It could do more than what Hex was capable of doing. We have no idea, but we do have a track record with Richard, and we do know that he's bought up his own assets. And so, if you want to be a part of an ecosystem of a guy that buys up his own tokens with and a guy that is capable of making way more money than you, then that is a signal to me that I'm going to watch his moves. I'm going to see how he plays, and I'm going to know that he's leveraging on Ethereum. He's leveraging on Bitcoin. So those are the plays I need to watch when those top out, and no one's talking about Pulsechain. And then all of a sudden, Pulsechain is the most important narrative in the history of cryptocurrency. You're sure going to be wishing you weren't bearish when the charts were at the very bottom.
Yeah. Yeah. So cool. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Yeah, I didn't get to all the stuff I want to get into today, but I think let's just do a quick TA and then call it good. All right. So all right. So just checking out the price of Bitcoin. We did talk on Monday, so the analysis is probably going to stay the same. As of right now, we are forming this massive cup and handle that we were talking about earlier, and we have this little price target coming up. Now, one thing I want to point out here from that target is when we start to cross about 71K, because this is going to be extremely important. When we cross right here, I guarantee you there's going to be some sort of news event. And the reason why I say that is because when I was studying this chart, and it really came to fruition right here, right? This is a big cup and handle or inverse head and shoulders. Right when we touched right up here, we had a huge news event. It was something about Mount Gox. I can't remember. Actually, no. Right when we touched, I think it was right here. There was like a war in Iran or something, and stuff was going on with Israel, and we went all the way down here. So there was actually a news event that pushed it down. Came back up here, news event, came back up here, another news event, and then boom, way back down. So when we start getting closer to that 71K threshold, I would not be surprised if there's some sort of news event that caused it to skyrocket and just push it up. Damn, we got 86 people in here, man. Right when we say Bitcoin thing goes skyrocketing.
Well, dude, I mean, we've had there's been 79 guys in here and girls in here for a while. But Chad, when you said Bitcoin, it just jumped to 87. So welcome in, folks. It's the Bitcoin session.
Yeah. So how I see the price chart performing right now. So we got multiple targets. So our first target is like right now we're trading at about 66K. So we're going to be looking at 71K, and I would not be surprised if we have a news event. I'm getting to a point, dude, where, bro, like anytime I'm like, I'm not even watching the news. All I do is just look at the price chart because you can see stuff happen. Like right here, was it January 13th? That's when we had that big news event at that certain conference when that event went down on July 13th. And then boom, absolute explosion from what happened that day. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting a point where, bro, all I do is just watch the charts because I don't even watch the news. The charts will tell you the news. So we got that. Let's talk about weekly.
Bro, now, Guga just confirmed we've been gate kept. His phone didn't get the pinger notification until we said BTC.
Oh, really?
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, give me 1 second. I completely forgot what I was going to say. Yeah. So on the weekly chart, basically, what we're starting to see is the close is coming down. Now, the one thing I don't want to see on this red candle on the weekly close is if it's more than 50%, there's a good chance we'll come down. The other thing I don't want to see is a gravestone doji. So if we form a gravestone doji on the weekly, there's a good chance that this chart could come down. So the weekly close on Sunday this week is going to be extremely important. So I think, a lot of you guys need to pay special attention to that. And then the next one, the monthly close. This is another big event because this is what's going to tell us how the charts are going to do into the foreseeable future. Now we're sitting at July 24th. Now we have about how many days are in this month?
31.
31. Okay. So we got 7 more days until this month starts to close out. Now, if we close out in the green, there's a good chance that August, September, and October, that's when it's going to be go time. That's when it's going to be showtime. If the closeout is in the red, we might see another red month after that. So the weekly close right now is extremely important because if we close out in the green this week and we also close out in the green this month, dude, all system go for August and September. So definitely some really good, exciting things to look at. Now, I want to come here to Bitcoin dominance. If you guys have been following Bitcoin dominance, the one trading indicator that we've been looking at is the 100 monthly moving average, sitting at 58%, and we're sitting at 55%. Now, right now in this triangle, just looking at the weekly, we're basically trading right at the 400 weekly moving average. So it's sitting at about 55, and we're just touching right here. So we touched earlier, now we're touching right here, and this line's coming down. This is one thing that I've been paying special attention to. Now, I want to bring over the Bitcoin price chart and talk to you guys about altcoin season. Real quick, let's bring this over. BTC. Is that market cap, Bitcoin futures? Okay, let's see if we just bring this in. Well, I want this thing. Let me bring it over. Huh. All right, we'll just do market cap. Make it easier. Okay, that's not what we wanted. Let me get out of this real quick.
Take your time, man. In the meantime, you guys can smash that like and subscribe button because there's 91 of yous in here. And we know that some of y'all just flooded in due to a ping notification, a late ping notification on X. Thank you for that. We love the notification anyways, but smash that likey, hit the subscribe, share it. Now Kris got both those charts up there. You've been wanting to show those like that. Nice.
Yeah, this is what I meant to do. I finally figured it out. All right, so I'm just going to get rid of all this stuff. I got way too much stuff on this chart anyway. All right, I'll bring it back in a minute. All right, so when it comes to just looking at this, I can't get rid of that. All right, so when it comes to just looking at these price charts, this is the thing I'm looking at for altcoin season. Let's see if this will show up. So the theory is if we hit that 300 weekly moving average and we come across here and we touch right here, that's when we start to see this breakdown, right? So we come across, boom, touch, breakdown, and then come back down. That's probably something you've seen. Now, let's take a look at where that breakdown happens. That breakdown happened on December 2021. And it happened at this local high right here, and then boom. And right from that breakdown, we saw it really, really crash. And then once we started getting to that first top, boom, came all the way down. And that's when altcoin season started with this red chart. Now, the question is, are we about to enter crazy altcoin season? And this is what I'm paying special attention to. Some people think we're going to start to see this breakdown happen right now. And some people think this thing might keep going up. Now, the one thing I want to point out is if we were to get a breakdown on the altcoin dominance and goes down, that means the highest Bitcoin could potentially get is going to be somewhere between that 90 to 100K scenario. Because if we go back and we take a look at it right here, where we get that first initial breakdown that was showing signs, and then boom, all the way down, that would mean that this this bull market is a left translated cycle, just like Rand Nooner was saying. And that's when we're going to start to see altcoin season. Now, on the flip side, if you guys think it's going to go a little bit higher, I personally think the Bitcoin dominance needs to go up some more, touch closer to the 100 monthly moving average. Once it touches that, then we get that crazy breakdown. So that's what I'm paying special attention to, especially with this chart, because the first initial signs of altcoin season was on that December 28th, 2020 timeframe. And then it started going absolutely astronomical as we got closer to about April 26th. That was when we got, March 8th, 2021. Now, what's crazy about this is you guys see the top right here. This top was 100% artificial. So the one on November 8th top, if you guys look at the altcoin market right here and the altcoin, the Bitcoin dominance, this thing was artificially pushed up to a crazy degree. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it?
Yeah. You can see
Yes.
it.
Yeah. So see how it comes down, touches like that. So you can already tell this is artificial. So that could also be in play because this has happened before. And I'll show you guys like the past price chart, right? So right here, this was the 2017 market. It started going up right here, and then boom, broke down. And you can see it with these charts right here. I'll bring it even closer.
Yeah, like as it's normal, it mirrors it, but otherwise, it like in that other part, it would plug in. The false top you were talking about would plug right in. So it's almost like an inverse chart.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, this is brilliant. This is like got me giddy. I feel like a teenage girl over here. I swear, I love this, bro.
Yeah, man. So basically, the point I'm trying to say is when I'm putting these charts across each other, I'm trying to tell you guys when altcoin season's happening, and I'm actually showing you guys actual data. I'm not making up emotional stuff, and I'm not throwing darts at a board or throwing something to see if it sticks. This is what we're seeing based on past charts. So this is 100% a full stop. Now, some indicators that we will start to see altcoin season come in is if this price drops down and then dominance breaks down. And once that money starts rotating, that's when you want to start considering taking profit. When you look at that chart, you got to tell yourself, I need to take profit because we're getting towards the end here. Another thing that could happen, altcoin season comes down and then the price of Bitcoin continues to go up like we did in the last bull market. That is within the realm of possibility with the ETFs. So what could potentially happen is we come up here and we do something. I'll see if I can draw. We come up here and then we come up to about like 100K. You can see on the left side of the screen. Mm-hmm. And then boom, come down. And then if we translate this to this other one, it could just trade sideways in this triangle. And then boom, breakdown when that happens. Right after that breakdown, it's probably going to do something where it comes right here, trade sideways, trade sideways, trade sideways. And then on the flip side, what we see with the price of Bitcoin is it could have a breakdown and then boom, skyrocket back up to some crazy price, whether it's like 150K, 200K or across the board. So the reason why I bring this up is that is highly speculative, but it's within the realm of possibility. And you're not going to get analysis like that on any other YouTube channel. No one's done that. But what I'm showing you right now.
Yeah, that's top tier technical analysis across the board. Yeah, no one's digging that deep. Nobody even understands some of these functions. So, yeah. And then even to dig more in, like, look how many times have we touched the 400 weekly moving? Like tons. Now we've touched it 3 times.
Twice. About twice.
Oh, it's not on the third. Oh, it didn't touch there. Okay. So yeah. And
go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Continue forward.
So if we come here and take a look at the 1 month moving average, we're sitting at about. This is what I'm seeing. We're sitting at about 58.97%. So if we continue on this course, that would mean that this thing is probably going to shoot down and then come down here and probably touch it sometime between September and October. And then we get that breakdown and then we get like the Bitcoin top breakdown, boom, altcoin season. That's what the 100 monthly moving average is telling me, that we'll start to see a massive breakdown closer to September to the October timeframe. And that's what also the past charts are showing me as well. Actually, no, let's look at that. Now that I think about that. BTC new price go. All right. Let's see. Let's see if I can do this one more time. Bring this up and then bring this down. So if we just take a look at this part. So here was this top. This was about 39 months. So how many years is that? Here, let me do a week.
It's over 3 years.
3 years. Actually, let's just do weeks. Let's just do weeks. So from here to this initial one was about 173 weeks. Let's take a look. Let's not taking this. So this one from over here, about 173 weeks. No, let's just take a look at this other one. 205 weeks. And then 205. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. October 13, 2025. So
never mind. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just curious if you moved it back past the false top where it would put you. If you put it at where the real top should have been and not the market manipulated top. Just curious.
Yeah, that if it was a market manipulated top, it would be right here. It would be saying the top is right here.
Right.
So what I'm thinking is if this is moving over 205, that's going to be this fall, and that's when things are going to get pretty. That's when things are going to get pretty nuts. So, yeah, man, I think overall, dude, it's looking pretty good. I don't know if we're in altcoin season yet. I still think we got a little time left, but this is the best time to start accumulate alts and doing your thing. Let's take a look at ETH real quick. So ETH is basically following the Bitcoin price chart at this point. I mean, nothing really new to report on this one. We are seeing a little bit of a breakdown of this head and shoulders. I guarantee you when ETH flows start to turn on, we're going to break all-time highs. That's what I'm predicting, and that's what the event is coming up based on what I'm seeing. So we do have this inverse head and shoulders pattern come up here. Then we have a massive inverse head and shoulders pattern, or you can say this is an atom and an Eve, and then boom, up to our next price target. So this one's actually looking pretty good, trading sideways. Looking at 4K, and then our next one is 4,396. That's our next target. And then our price target out of that, when ETF inflows come in, it's going to be about 4,737. So, yeah, man, good stuff. What are we seeing at 108? Yeah.
Which the last thing I'd say about that is that ETH price prediction was made off of thinking that the inflows were going to start on July the 2nd. So just as far as history is concerned, if you were to go back on the live streams, that's why we placed that there. I would say maybe now it's 11 days out from now.
Well, this is going till August 1st. So I put that range for August 1st. So
right, exactly. And so that would put us like, if it's 11 days from now, maybe 4 or 5 days off from that call. So just wanted to point that out.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So good stuff. Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. We're sitting at about an hour, so we're good to go, man. You got anything else?
That's it, man. This was a crazy one. We had some soy boys that got booted. We had some really awesome people that came in here and hyped us up. We got Goo. He's calling you Dr. Chaos, PhD level. Balam says, we're good, guys, man. Thank you very much. We appreciate you guys. Yeah, we got everybody in here. Thank you so much for checking us out. He says, we got Mark says, thank you for the feedback. We thank you guys for being here today. And yeah, you know what we do. It's all about that alpha. It's all about dropping you. You know, we called the verse because we wanted to try to give you that word. That's what it's always been about. That's why we're called the verse. It's not about the crypto verse or the universe. It's about the word. We're giving you the word. Peace.
Whoops. Oh.